There's so many things that you're gripping to, you just don't know. And if you were faced really with the reality of letting something go fully, you'd say in your heart and your mind, but how am I going to live? How will things be? What if I let go of this? What's going to happen to me? What if I forget this? What if I forget that? What if I don't remember how to walk? What if I don't? There's so many concerns that can pop into the mind. So you can be in a state of fear and worry about that, but you can also be in a state of like absolute joy, and you can find those worries coming up too. Like, oh, I can't give in to the joy this much, it's just too much. Like, it's just, what would I do if I let go of my control and just joy was there? Then, like the mind will create a lot of stories for you. And you actually don't know the answer, but the mind will still keep projecting the stories. It's interesting. It's like a ignorant, I don't really know the answer, fear-based reaction thing that just keeps you in control for what reason? Is it really doing what it says it's doing? Is it really protecting you in the way it says it's protecting you? Is it, really there for your best interest? Or is it just some little problem or disease in the mind, in the heart, in the soul that's just kind of in the way? So that's something to consider when you get into those real visceral feelings that you don't want to surrender. Maybe they're not helping you. Maybe they're just in your way. So the more that you meditate deeply, the more that you surrender yourself to the flow of life, the more that these existential issues will start arising. Control of life, control of body, control of mind, control of everything. When you let go of the lower, it becomes more neutralized. If you always are engaging in letting go of the lower, you'll probably experience that you go from lower to neutral, lower to neutral, lower to neutral. Your neutral is good feeling, but because of the respite that it gives you, not because of joy, but because of peace and neutrality. When you let go of the positive, and something more transcendental comes through, then you feel very different. You feel more like you went from normal state of psychology, kind of a good state, happy state, to like shifted in a different world, in a different sense. So when you let go of your highest, most beloved form of God, whatever you've experienced so far, which may not even be in the transcendental regions, it may just be in the upper echelon of your own psyche. When it's in the transcendental regions, then it's very transcendental. So it should feel altered, should feel shifted, should feel in a different state of mind, which means that your experience should not feel so confined to the body. Some element, some aspect, some part of the experience of existence should feel, I can't really say endless, because that's pointing to a certain stage. But it should not feel confined to the perimeter of the body as much. If you're getting to a point where you can experience something that's always ongoing and endless, not just a state that's always there and that keeps going, because that can still feel like it has a beginning and an end, even though you wouldn't say that. There's a particular type of a flow or a current that could start anywhere, be anywhere, end anywhere. But it can feel like it has no beginning and no end, no time. And even though it's in the body, it can feel like it's not limited to the body. That's pointing to ananda. That's pointing to a different stage. That's pointing to feeling the bliss of yourself. Still not even self-realization, but it's feeling the bliss of yourself. This is not the same as having blissful moments or having happy moments. This is in knowing that you are the cosmic bliss itself. So this is a very different thing. Feeling bliss and knowing that you are the bliss that runs through all people. You are what makes people happy. It's a different way of thinking, isn't it? It's not just saying, I'm happy today. I felt so much bliss today. When you feel like you are the bliss that is the reason why squirrels run on trees and the reason why, everything is occurring in life and people get happy, when you feel like you are what empowers all people with happiness and life force, that is ananda. That's the magical substance that you also are, but we're interested in you actually experiencing it and not just in hearing about it. You get to that place when you don't deny the life current. So if you look at life and you see good things and bad things, that's not the life current. That's the life and death current. That's the dualistic mind-based current based off of its own ideas. When you see just life. Even though there's things that are called death and pleasure and displeasure, but you just see the infinite life and joy filling everything. It changes everything that you think. Even experiences in your past that you would have thought were negative are only seen to be positive. You not just see them, like, oh, I get it, yeah, it was positive. You feel it, like, I can't believe how wonderful that part of my life was. When maybe 2 weeks ago, prior to that experience, you're saying how horrible that was, and I can't believe my life was ever like that. So it has the ability to rewrite you. You could say genetically in some way. If not genetically, at least spiritually, genetically. It can rewrite the way that you experience life. And that power is within you. It's not somewhere else. It's literally within you. And that's by accepting life totally. The duality of life, when it's fully accepted, is no more duality. If you hold on to one, the good side, reject the bad side, or hold on to the bad side, reject the good side, whatever side of the stick one is on, one is still kind of on the life or death, current side of life. That's the mind current, this and that, plus, negative, up, down, left, right, hot, cold, expanded, contracted, all of that's a part of the mind. Even transcendental mind is still mind. So Ananda, you probably still could define that as mind, but you'd have to really outright call that more like the soul. It's the one that understands, like every book as though it's itself. Every, teaching as though it's its own words. Not, I get that. Oh, I've had an experience like that. Not that, but like you feel that they're just speaking about your nature. Which is different. Because then you go from one side of the fence, which is worshiping the Supreme, to not saying that you would be the Supreme, but you're working in that way. This is where the ball goes down the hill. What we talked about earlier. You're not just, gotta find God, gotta find God, gotta find God. There's momentum that just takes you. When there's that experience of self-identification with Ananda, then there's a sense that all the religions are pointing to you. Not in a personal egoic way, mind you. That would be pretty corrupt and weird to say. In a life force way. Because now you've maybe for years drifted away from the body sense anyway. And at that level, you would only see yourself as what, poems or songs are written about or religions are pointing to. So that nature is in everyone. It's in the grass, it's in the trees, it's in the elements, it's in the animals, it's in absolutely everything. So you're not far from that, as they say in Zen, like the true nature is closer to you than the nose on your face. So it's not far from you. You're making it far by holding out and creating and etching in that duality. You're creating space, a huge gap of consciousness where you could see God and instead you see a different type of a substance that goes by a different type of a name. So to think like that and talk like that, it is against yourself to do that. You're betraying yourself to do that. To see everything as unified, to see everything as one whole, is what brings things together.